Hey there, this is Darren. Day 49. Growth follows commitment. I kind of talked about this a few days ago, but it kind of ties into yesterday's, if you were following along. That yesterday I talked about feeling like a fraud. And I talked about it in my men's group that I asked the people there who are closest to me to keep me accountable and moving forward. And I kind of made that commitment last night, and a few more things happened this morning at the meeting where people who know me and love me really encouraged me and said they'd keep me accountable, as well as there were some confirmations that I am on the right path and I am doing what I am supposed to do. And then tonight I just did a Monday night service at my church, and this guy who he goes to my church. I never really had a conversation with him ever in a year and a half. And I met him about a year and a half ago when his wife had got baptized, and just kind of hi. I didn't even remember his name, quite honestly. And tonight at service, he came up to me just out of the blue. Again, I didn't talk to him, just kind of waved, hi, how are you? And he came up to me out of the blue after, and he said to me, when you did that sermon last year, it meant so much to me, and it really helped me a lot. And my friend Jenna was sitting right there, Mark Camp's wife, and she was there witness to this, and we had just kind of had that conversation, and it was just crazy, or not. When you commit, see, if you're a believer, I think God helps you out. If you're not a believer, you might say the universe comes to your rescue or comes to your side, and no matter which way you look at it, it's still truth. And committing starts the growth, but the commitment comes before the growth. You and I have to commit first. So what do you need to commit to? So I talked about that lesson a few days ago, but do you see the signs? And they've been these subtle little whispers that I talked about it, that Becky Spone's message a couple days ago. Then I was listening to, out of the blue, I changed to, while I was running, listen to 10X by Grant Cardone, and right at the beginning he talks about, if you are doing this and you want to be a speaker or you want to do this, and then out of nowhere he says, or if you're working on a movie. And where? I've never heard any motivational speaker talk about that. And it was just, and then tonight Chris, who came up to me and said that out of seemingly the blue, and I wasn't even going to go tonight because I went yesterday, but I felt this need to go, and I didn't know why, and that's part of why I needed to hear that one more confirmation of somebody who was impacted when the sermon is kind of on the guidelines that I did, is kind of on the guidelines of the movie script. So are you hearing the whispers, those subtle little things that are just confirmation you're doing what you're supposed to do? So, whatever that means to you, tell your story, inspire by example. Remember to commit first, and then growth follows. And hear those whispers when you know you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, that's it for today, day 49. We'll see you tomorrow. Get excited, because I'm getting more excited. And so many... that's one other thing I wanted to say. When I started out in Boston comedy in the 90s, there were so many people, and there are several comedians who are literally doing the same act every single day. They weren't tweaking it, they weren't trying to make it better, and they weren't really growing. It took courage to get up there, but they weren't growing, and a lot of comedians kind of fell off, which I get it. I wanted to quit many times, and I'm not exactly sure what kept me going. And they're not around anymore. And there's some other comedians that I started out with in Boston. Bill Burr, now he goes by Bill Burr, who's big time comedian, had his own special, been on the Tonight Show. See him all over. Dane Cook, I started out with in Boston, who is now like a super mega star. We all started in the same place, and I'm so glad that I kept going with that commitment. And I see people on the 90-day challenge. So if you've missed a day, that's great. They're louder when you're listening. But we got to be listening, Becky Spone. I hope you saw the message I did yesterday, I think it was, where I thanked you for your 90-day challenge. But I also know there's people in the 90-day challenge who stopped. And it's easy to stop. It's hard to get going again. That's why it's actually a lot easier just putting a little bit of effort to keep momentum going on, even those days that maybe you don't want to. Because consistency beats ability. Consistency beats ability. I was definitely not the most talented in Boston, but I was one of the most committed and one of the most consistent. Now, I haven't reached the stardom of Bill Burr or Dane Cook. They went on their own direction, and they stuck with the comedy. I changed lanes. But at the same time, I'm still so fortunate that I get to do what I love to do for a living. So, that's it for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Becky Spone, rock on. Thanks. Bye.